First off, before I start this commentary, I want to apologize. I wanted to use a different game's gameplay for this, but I've come to realize that since I got a new PlayStation 4 and gave my old one to the lady, I don't actually have any of the games saved on here anymore. Because it is a new PlayStation 4, the only way I'd be able to do that is to log on to mine on her PlayStation 4, edit it, re-log into YouTube. It's too much of a hassle, so I just threw this gameplay on there. Once I start playing the other games on this one, they'll be added on. But again, I apologize. Stuck with Call of Duty. It's a shotgun gameplay. Well, it turns into shotgun. Anyway, I wanted to take this time to discuss something that's been annoying me lately. And that's when you go onto a post by IGN, game trailers, anything, video game related, sometimes not even video game related, and you read console war comments, bigoted comments, talking about how one system's better than the other, or this system has no games, so this system isn't selling as well, blah blah blah. The kind of stuff that kind of annoys me. And that's kind of funny coming from a person like me. If you know me, I'm a Sony person. And I own all the systems. I have the trifecta, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Wii U. I don't really ever use, my Xbox One and Wii U. But that doesn't mean I don't want to. But what annoys me about these comments sometimes is when you're reading them, they have dumb reasons. At least in my opinion, reasons that don't make sense on why you would hate one system over the other. I've actually talked to people who prefer the Xbox 360 because the games come in green cases. I don't understand how that makes a game system better. I've also met people who like the PlayStation 3 more because the system started off as black, whereas the 360 came out white, and that I don't understand. That doesn't make the system better. But like I said, I'm obviously a Sony person, and I have my reasons. Typically, in my opinion, games play better on the PlayStation 4. They look better, they play better, and a lot of people could argue, well, when I say look better, I guess resolution. Most games 900p on Xbox One, 1080p on PlayStation 4. Now that's not a huge difference. That doesn't make I don't honestly think if you had super eyes you'd be able to see the difference. But there is a difference. Why would I pay $60 for the same game to look worse on one system than the other? If I'm paying $60, I better get the best looking game on the console of my choice. And as far as playing better, frame rates and stuff, I mean, we're talking like 4 or 5 frames. Still, it's the same argument. If I'm going to be paying the same amount of money for the same game, why not get it for the one that plays it slightly better? When people try to say something, well, 900 and 1080, there's no big difference, and there is no big difference, but about 100 of that is better on one system, so I'm going to obviously play it on the better system. Another reason, the built-in capture card on the PlayStation 4. This gameplay, I didn't even have my PC turned on. I didn't have the Elgato, capturing it, but the PlayStation 4 already had it for me. So it's just easy to use. It's convenient, and you don't get that with Xbox One. It does have a capture in there, but it's so inconveniently, worked, and you just can't use it as well. And I've tried, and it's just too hard. You always have to have something hooked up to it to capture your gameplay. So that just makes the PlayStation 4 a lot easier for me to use, especially when it comes to capturing gameplay. When I can play my games, if I do something, that's cool or out of the ordinary, and not having to have my PC hooked up to the actual system itself to be able to view it or capture it again or anything like that. I also feel like the menu system, as long as we're on like things that are convenient, the menu system on the PlayStation 4 I feel is 20 times better than the Xbox One. I do not like Windows 8. I'm getting used to it, but that doesn't mean I'd like it. And I feel the Xbox One is optimized like Windows 8 is. And so you need the Kinect with the Xbox One, which I do not have, to really kind of take advantage of what the interface of the Xbox One is all about. But even with that being said, you can't organize anything. You play one game, and you play another and play another, and you can't find them anymore. Especially if they're downloaded, you have to go through all these other menus. And the PlayStation, they're just all lined up right there in the center for you to select when you want to play them if they're downloaded, in the order that you've played them. Anything past 15 goes into your library, but it's in alphabetical order. Finding system settings, checking your profile, trophies, it's just so much easier. I actually remember a time when I went to go play a Blu-ray and I was like, oh, well, my Xbox is on. I'm just going to pop in this movie and watch it. It actually took me to the store to download an app to play a Blu-ray. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's called the Xbox One. It was supposed to be, it's called the Xbox One, which makes no sense, because it was the all-in-one system, the third system being called the Xbox One. That's what I mean by no sense. But it's supposed to be the all-in-one system, media center, gaming center. Why didn't it have this already installed? Or have the ability to play it without an app? That doesn't make any sense to me. I remember being like that, and I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. Why do I have to download an app to play a Blu-ray? Then turned on my PlayStation 4, popped in my Blu-ray, and it played immediately. Those kind of things are like deciding factors in why I prefer one system over the other. And I don't feel that these are stupid reasons. These are reasons that make me feel one system is more convenient than the other. And when I'm playing a system, I want something to be convenient, easy to use, to look nice. Let's not mention, the price point of the PS4 when it launched. It was cheaper, and you had options on what you want to do. You didn't want a camera, you didn't have to have a camera. You were forced on it on Xbox. And I feel sorry for Xbox users that, I feel they got conned into buying a system with the Kinect and paying an extra $100 and not even utilizing it. And then 1 month, at the beginning of 1 month, I think it was February of last year, they announced that they said they had no plans of releasing the Xbox One without Kinect. And then I think it was like 28 days later that they announced that they were releasing the Xbox One without Kinect. And I feel sorry for Xbox users because I feel they got conned out of their money for a system that isn't as reliable as the PlayStation 4, and fell into the hype of it being cheapened, the price being lowered by $50 so that they could sell a couple of units. And even if you think about that $50, you have to pay another $25 for a chat headset adapter if you can even find one. Then you have to pay another $20 for rechargeable batteries, and then another $10 extra a year for their Xbox Live service. I mean, you've already hit the 400 point, which is the same as the PS4. And I don't know. I prefer my PlayStation 4, and I honestly really want to like my Xbox One. I've been really wanting to play it, but every time I hop on, I just feel like I'm losing out on features that if, like, let's just say, like, I am playing Call of Duty. Like, oh, I get this really good gameplay. Oh, well, it didn't save because I didn't have my Elgato on. I can't just press a button on the controller to save it. That's another thing I like, is the controller has that share button. And then the touchpad. I mean, even in Bloodborne, it utilizes that touchpad as 2 buttons, depending on the side that you're touching when you press it. So, I mean, with that being even said, I hate controller arguments. You can get used to a controller. It's not that hard to get used to a controller when you're playing a system. So anybody who has that argument, I feel like that's not like a really good reason to like one system over the other, especially since controllers are things that you can get used to. Everybody's played a PS2. PS3 controller is very similar in that regard, and the PlayStation 4 controller, although very different than the PS2, is still familiar. The button layout, is still familiar. Everything, it's laid out nicely, and I don't understand how people can use that as their argument. But anyway, I don't like sacrificing some of the features when I'm playing on Xbox One. And I understand Xbox One has features the PS4 doesn't, but I just can't lose out on those. But that's how I feel. I really want to play my Xbox One. I really want to play my Wii U. It's that's I just feel like I'm losing out. So I mean, if you have any games or something that you could recommend, leave them out in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Uh, Again, like I said, I want to like my Xbox One and just find it really hard to. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.